All right, now once I've entered into the home, there's something that's really important, and what that is I like to have a really good reason to get onto the computer. Now, one thing to understand is that the computer is a very private, personal thing. People have a lot of personal information on it, and if you think about it, most people might be very uncomfortable with you getting on their computer, and so you need to have a good reason. And so what I do is I come up to the modem, I look at it for a minute, I look at the ports on the back, just to kind of have some time, and where they feel like, oh, I wonder what he's doing. And then I turn to him and I say, all right, I know exactly what you guys need. It's an SPA2102. It's a great piece of equipment. You probably don't know what that is, do you? Actually, is that okay if I jump on your computer real quick and show you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so if you'll notice a couple things I did there is I was polite. I don't want to be really commanding like, hey, I need to get on here, because then there might be some tension. You don't want any negative tension at this point. You don't want them looking over your shoulder as you're going over things and having some negative feeling. And so I always ask nicely, oh, is that okay if I just jump on to show you real quick? And then that's a good transition. Once they say, oh, sure, fine, then I feel comfortable. So I get on here, and this part's really important. Everything up to this point has been pretty direct and simple. This part you want to keep direct and simple too, but you want to spend some time building value, because as soon as you get done with this portion, that's where you're asking for the money. And anytime you ask for money, you need to make sure that the value in their eyes is higher than the commitment you're asking them to make. And this is the chance where you're going to go from here, where they're wondering, what is this? What's going on exactly? Sure, there's an upgrade and this and that, but what is it? Do I really want this? And they might have some questions in their mind, and during this presentation, you're bringing that value mark above the commitment you're asking them, so that when you get to the credit card information and some things, you're not really needing to be aggressive and, oh, let's get this done. It's more just, hey, let's take care of this, because they're so excited about it at this point, if you've done this part right, that there's no reason for them not to give you the credit card. So let me show you the way that I do this. I start out by clicking here on the advertising home tab. This is on the top left of the screen. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go directly into my dialogue now of how I explain it. Now, on the presentation, it's not as important on this part to do word for word like on the door approach. The reason why is because you've got some visual help. You can the best thing to do is go through this website individually, get comfortable with the information, and think what's a logical way for you to present. I'm just going to show you some of the specific ways that I build value by talking about this. Okay, so I'm going to go into the dialogue now. So, all right, so basically what you're going to get, this is the SPA2102. It's the silver box here on the right, and this device is $150. Now, the homes that we're actually taking care of today will not have to pay for that. That will actually be included. And there's also an option to add a lifetime warranty and service plan. Those are $199. We also include that, and there's two reasons we include that with the homes that we're doing today. The first reason is because we use world-class Linksys and Cisco equipment, and the second reason is because we are committed to top-notch customer service for everyone that we do business with. Now, one of the things that the neighbors actually have loved a lot is the relocation plan. And the reason why, I'm sure you remember when you guys moved here and got your services set up, there's always a setup cost. Okay? Once you get your new digital service set up, you will never have a setup cost again. So let's say in the next 40 years you guys move 5 times, that would be like $500 in setup fees that you'd be paying on your phone. The nice thing is you're going to get this one set up for $99, and then after that you will never have to set anything up again. So anywhere you go in the country, or actually in the world, we'll actually take care of relocating, getting you a new phone number. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. You just take it with you. And so, and then just really quick, a lot of people when they get upgrades that, if they're not able to do it on their own, they have to rely on Geek Squad or something like that to come and help them. Usually costs about $150. We actually cover the cost of any setup cost, installation that you need, any support there. And then just so you know, this isn't a huge thing, but on your your $99 setup thing, what we do to kind of offset that, we actually pay for your first month of service. On top of that, there is a number porting fee to keep your phone number, and we take care of that for you too. So you're not going to have to worry about any of that stuff. Now, really quick, you guys have cell phones, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you probably remember about 10 years ago, the cell phones were on an analog signal, and there used to be roaming charges. You had to pay for long distance phone calls outside of your region if you were to call, East Coast or whatever, and the phone bills were pretty expensive when you added all those hidden fees and everything up. That's kind of the same thing as home phones right now. On the analog signal, there's a lot of hidden fees, there's a lot of taxes, there's a lot of long distance charges, there's all these different things. Well, when the cell phones went to digital, all of the plans got cheaper, the roaming charges and long distance charges went away, and it became a lot more practical, and all of a sudden everyone got cell phones. So you probably remember that. Now you've got kids walking around with cell phones because the technology is so much better. So the same exact thing that happened with cellular 10 years ago is happening today with home phone. And so basically what's going to happen for you is better service, save money. It's pretty simple. Same things happened with internet and TV. You've seen that. It's on the news, so it's pretty simple. Now I just want to actually help you understand why digital phone service is so much better, not just cost-wise, because everyone's interested in saving money. That's a no-brainer. But a lot of times we don't save money if it's at the expense of quality. A lot of times we're willing to pay the extra money for quality. This is one of the unique situations where you're improving quality and saving money, which is why it's kind of a no-brainer. It's why everyone's doing it. So just to give you an example right here, traditional home phone, you've got, what do you guys have, 3, 4 features?
Yeah, we just use like call waiting and caller ID.
Voicemail, three-way, a few of
Yeah.
those. So this is really cool on digital home phone service. You'll have all of those features, obviously, all the basic ones. A few of the ones that people have really been liking out here is, you guys said you have a cell phone. Do you use internet on your cell phone, or is it just a cell phone?
Yeah, we have an internet package because we have to.
Okay, perfect. So with the internet package, this is awesome. You got your emails on there and stuff, right? So you can check
Right.
your emails. Well, the way it works is, let's say someone calls your house and you guys have stepped out. Your email will actually ding you on your cell phone, and it'll show you who called, what time they called, and if there's a voicemail, it'll have an attachment. You just click the attachment, and it'll play your voicemail right there on your cell phone.
Wow.
So you don't have to call and check in on it. It's right there on your phone. It actually
Wow.
tells you, hey, you missed a call. And if you don't want to check it, fine, but you've got it right there. It's really cool. You can just erase it, or whatever. So the other thing that's cool, too, is you can actually, it's called a simultaneous ring feature. You can actually have it where your cell phone will ring whenever your house phone rings. So if you stepped out, even if you're out in the garden or something, someone's calling your house, you can hear it ring and you're like, oh, suck. But you've got your cell phone in your pocket.
Yeah.
You just pick it up and look who's calling. Oh, it's Mom. Hey, how you doing, Mom? You can pick it up right there on your cell phone, and you can actually take the call that way. So another thing too, and I'm not sure I made this clear, but you won't have to pay for any long distance, and that includes U.S., Canada, and Puerto Rico. So it's kind of like when the cell phones went to digital, the long distance fees went away. Same thing's happening here. Plus, I don't know if you do any international calling. Most people don't, but if you do have anyone to call out of the country, most countries are like 1 to 2 cents a minute. So it's really inexpensive. And then just a couple more things to touch on is, if you ever travel, if you go out of town, you can actually also check your voicemail and caller ID online from any computer in case you don't have internet reception where you are on your phone. You're at a hotel, you can use their thing, check on your website. You'll see all your caller IDs, your voicemail, all that stuff listed. And then the last one, this is one that people love. I don't know if you ever get calls from telemarketers.
Mm-hmm.
Does it bug you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Almost always they call from like a block number or anonymous, and there's a feature here you can see called anonymous call rejection. Anonymous call rejection basically makes it so they cannot get through to you. It'll leave them a message where if it's an unmarked call, it'll let them know they have to basically push a special button to get through to you, and if they're a telemarketer, they need to hang up type of a deal. And that's actually included.
That's cool.
A lot of companies will charge several dollars for features like this because they're really high demand. People like privacy. They like to be able to customize their phone, and most people don't take advantage of any of these features because, for one, on analog phone it's not available, and even if it were, the analog companies charge like $3 to $5 per feature to add, so it gets really expensive. So really for you, since your home's going to be all digital now, you'll have all 34 features included, and it does not affect your rate. Okay, and another thing you'll notice here, it says $39. Now you're going to be a promotional home. All of the homes that we're setting up today, they're actually allowing us to lock in a rate of $29 for life. It will not go up. So, I mean, that's not, it's only $10, but you know, it's an extra $120 a year put in your pocket to use for whatever you want. So basically the $29 is going to include your unlimited local, your unlimited long distance, your really low international rates, and all 34 features. And the thing that's nice is most people wouldn't use the features if it was a hassle, but the reason it's so easy is because here in about 5 minutes you're going to get an email. That email is going to give you instructions on how to log into your own personal website. And when you log in, it'll have a features tab that'll list all 34 features, and it'll have a little question mark next to it. You click on it, it'll tell you what the feature is and how it benefits you. And if you like it, you don't have to call and be like, hey, I like this feature, can you activate it? There's actually just a little box. You just click on the box and it turns on. It's really cool. So one click, hit save your settings, and you just changed your phone service. It's really cool. People love it. It's so easy. So
it is easy.
Now, most of your neighbors all just wanted to keep the same phone number. Most people don't like changing them around. Do you guys just want to keep the same one?
Yeah, we'd keep the same number.
Okay, perfect. So right here on this is going to have a couple changes by summertime, just so you know. There's some things that I've actually decided that I would like them to modify and they thought was a good idea. So all you're going to have here is on the front page, it's going to go straight to the sign up form. So don't worry about those first two screens you saw. So all it's going to do is pop up an order details, where I'm going to say, okay, remember how I told you you had a $99 activation? That's right here, and then there's $6 in tax. So it's $106.79. Like I said, the $34.01 for your first month is waived, and the $827 for, you know, the $827 includes the activation and everything. That's your total value. That's what you pay. So right here, what was your home phone number that you guys are using right now?
801-555-2421.
Okay, perfect. And spell your name for me.
It's Bill Allen, Allen.
Okay, and then the email address you want them to send your
It'd be
welcome.
B